There has been a big debate over vaccinations for quite some time now, and especially in my line of work. I do work at a daycare center, and we get asked all the time by parents that may want to enroll their child here or that have already enrolled their child and whether they need to be vaccinated or not. And we do require our children at our center to be vaccinated. So we do kind of get some heat for it from some parents that don't believe in the vaccination, or they don't think it's necessary for their children, which on our part, we're doing it for the benefit of other children and to keep everyone safe and healthy as the year goes on, especially during the flu season. And we mainly are trying to get away from the influenza strain of the flu, and because influenza is a serious disease that can lead to hospitalization or even death, and every flu season is different, but millions of people do get the flu every year. There are hundreds of thousands of hospitalizations a year, ranging from young kids to senior citizens, but the sad thing is that there's tens of thousands of deaths a year from flu-related causes. And by getting your annual vaccine, this will just help reduce all of these hospitalizations and deaths, and it'll just make your all-around flu season, winter season easier to deal with. The flu vaccine causes antibodies to develop in the body about 2 weeks after the flu shot is administered. And these antibodies provide protection from infection and the viruses that are in the vaccine shot already. The seasonal flu vaccine is to protect against the influenza virus that research has indicated that will be the most common during the upcoming seasons. The traditional flu shot protects against 3 different viruses, 2 influenza A strands and 1 influenza B strand. But there is also a vaccine that is made of 4 different viruses that protects against both of the influenza A, the influenza B, and an additional influenza B virus. CDC does recommend the use of any age-appropriate vaccine for the upcoming flu season, which we're kind of in the middle of already, but these vaccines do include the inactivated flu vaccine, the recombinant flu vaccine, and the live attenuated vaccine. No vaccine is preferred over one another, but both the 3-component and the 4-component vaccine will be available. For the upcoming flu season, the Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices, also known as ACIP, recommends anyone over the age of 6 months old to get your annual flu shot, and that does include any of the inactivated, the recombinant, or the live attenuated flu shots that I mentioned before. And again, none of them are preferred over one another. They're all just fine as long as you are 6 months or older. And yes, it is possible to get the flu if you have been vaccinated. For instance, you could have been exposed to the flu virus before you got your vaccine, or during the 2-week period that it takes the body to build up its protection from the flu. You may be exposed to the flu virus that was not included in the seasonal flu vaccine. There are many different viruses that kind of circulate every season, and the flu vaccine that you get every year will include the 3 or 4 most common viruses that research suggests is most common. So there is a lot of stigma around the flu vaccine and vaccinating your child, and one of the main things that people talk about is the flu vaccine causes Down syndrome. Well, there has been multiple different researches that have went on to try and connect the two, and there's nothing connecting them. So in reality, people are saying that they would rather have their child be life-threatening sick rather than them having a mental health disability. And that's just mind-blowing to me, because that's not something that you would want your child to be, is sick all the time and in the hospital. But earlier I spoke about a lot of kind of statistical information, and It's kind of probably boring, but I do think it's important to do your research on vaccines before deciding to not vaccinate your children or to vaccinate your children. There is a lot of ups and downs about these types of things, but it is important to keep your children safe and healthy at all times, and to keep other children around your children safe and healthy. You wouldn't want someone causing your child to get sick, life-threatening sick, let alone just a cold. And even if your child is allergic to an ingredient in the vaccine shot, it is important to start little steps like washing their hands more often, making sure they know after they blow their nose, don't go and like touch other kids. It's just these little things that kids need to learn, and to start making the healthier choices to help their body be healthy and let them grow like they should be growing, and helping them learn like they should be learning.